the gym already this year in support of your New Year's resolutions, you've probably noticed you're not the only one.
Indeed.
But how many will stick with it, and how many will get the real payoff?
That's why we've invited Keith Klein back with us this morning. Keith, from the Institute of Eating Management, has tips to help you make your workout pay off. Good morning, Keith.
Hey, Happy New Year.
And back at you. And a lot of people see a Happy New Year in the gym.
Yeah, I think this is the busiest time of the year for gyms. You notice every January it gets really busy, and by March it's pretty well slow again.
So why is it so many wind up quitting, Keith?
I think for the first point that people aren't really sitting down making out a list of what would really interest them. You know, I think first of all what exercise needs to be is it needs to be something that you'd actually enjoy doing rather than just going with the flow of what the recent magazines are telling you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that exercise could be a lot of other things other than just going to a gym. It could be dancing. It could be a lot of other fun things that we dropped off as children that we used to call playing, and today we think of as work. Sometimes maybe as adults we have to just think about getting back to playing more and being more active as a form of exercise as opposed to just having to go do a form of exercise that we might not enjoy.
Maybe we shouldn't call it working out then.
Right.
Maybe
Playing out.
I'm thinking.
Playing out. Mm-hmm.
Recess. That's what we should call it. Remember, recess was
How
nothing
funny.
but
That's a
one
great
long
point.
workout.
Yep, just like recess.
So what is let's say one or two big mistakes that people make when they try to put together a workout plan?
Well, I think first of all they go at it too hard. They remember the glory years when that they were, lifting more, running more, whatever. Years ago, I had Carl Lewis on a radio show, and I asked him, and I was in my mid-40s. I said, "Listen, Carl, I'm in my mid-40s. I'd like to take up running. I'm not a runner. How do I do it?" And his response to that was very slowly.
Mm-hmm.
The muscles are much different than the tendons, joints, and ligaments, and our tendon, joints, and ligaments really respond slower to exercise than the muscles do. So muscles get really strong very quick, which sends the message to the brain that you can do more. So how many people haven't run for years and go out and run 1 mile and say, well, that was easy, I'll run 2 tomorrow. And that's where they end up with shin splints and joint problems and tendon ligament tendonitis. And so one thing is I think people need to realize it's okay to come back and do an exercise program, but do it slower.
Exponential little bits.
Yeah, small changes yield huge results over the course of time, provided that those changes are sustainable.
Mm-hmm. And so what sustainable things do you find will generate that results effectively?
Well, first of all, if somebody's been doing nothing 3 days a week of 30 minutes of cardio, power walking is a great way to start. It burns a lot of calories, gets your joints, tendons, ligaments built up, and more importantly, you don't have to pay a gym fee to do it. And as you develop the endurance and the stamina, you can go further, you can add in another day. And so I think that just simply starting out slow and not thinking that it has to be an everyday experience is going to fit into your schedule a lot easier and make it more pleasant, and therefore you'd be more likely to go do it.
So you focus on cardio overweights to start?
Yeah, I would always do it. Do you realize that most of the people that come to see me for weight loss, in the first 3 months, just by changing their foods, without even adding exercise, they lose substantial amounts of weight because most people's eating is so poor. They're eating out all the time or whatever. And then after the 3-month mark, then we begin adding in cardio, and it only starts at 3 times a week, 30 minutes, and they continue to get great results. So exercise shouldn't be something that causes pain and hurts you and is miserable. It should be something that you're enjoying doing. And by the way, for a lot of you, it could be bonding time with your children. I see more people who will walk their dogs than walk their children.
And remember drinking water. That's critical, too.
Yeah, because the brain that regulates appetite is also regulating our thirst.
You can learn more about keeping your workout on the right path all year long. Visit Keith's website, eatingmanagement.net. Thanks for being with us, Keith.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Let's rock some more.